President Donald Trump has signed a major executive order aimed at eliminating the controversial policy of no cash bail in Washington, D.C. and across the nation. In a move that has already sparked fierce debate, Trump announced the order on Monday from the Oval Office, telling reporters that Washington is once again booming and that safety is being restored. He emphasized that since his new safety plan took effect, there have been 0 murders in the past 11 days, with authorities making over 1,000 arrests and removing hundreds of illegal firearms from the streets. Trump also noted that numerous undocumented immigrants were apprehended as part of this effort. The executive order specifically targets cashless bail policies, which allow suspects to be released without paying bail after arrest. Trump made it clear that jurisdictions that continue to enforce such policies risk losing federal funding. The president argued that cities with no cash bail, including New York and Chicago, have become unsafe because violent offenders are released too quickly. He said that no cash bail has been one of the central reasons behind rising crime in urban areas, calling it a disaster driven by what he described as bad leadership and weak political will. Cashless bail has been viewed as a progressive reform in criminal justice, with supporters claiming it prevents low-income individuals from being unfairly jailed. However, recent studies suggest the results have been mixed. According to a 2024 report by the Data Collaborative for Justice, eliminating money bail led to higher reoffense rates for individuals charged with nonviolent felonies or recent violent crimes, while lowering reoffense rates for those with misdemeanor charges or clean recent records. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, himself a former police officer, has been one of the most vocal critics of the state's cashless bail law. Enacted in 2019 under former Governor Andrew Cuomo, the law has been accused of fueling repeat offenses and weakening accountability. Adams, who is now running for re-election against Cuomo, has consistently argued that bail reform has made streets less safe. Meanwhile, progressive candidate Zohran Mamdani, who recently won the Democratic primary, is advocating for even more radical reforms, including eliminating all cash bail entirely and even abolishing prisons. The Trump administration's crackdown on crime is not limited to Washington, D.C. Just last week, the president hinted at deploying the National Guard to Chicago, which he described as a mess plagued by crime and violence. In response, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson dismissed Trump's comments as uncoordinated and unnecessary. Johnson argued that his administration has already reduced homicides by 30%, robberies by 35%, and shootings by nearly 40% over the past year. He warned that federal interference could damage community trust in law enforcement, even though Chicago's crime rate remains above the national average. With these new executive orders, President Trump has placed law and order policies back at the center of his agenda. Supporters see this as a bold step toward safer cities, while critics view it as an attack on criminal justice reform. The debate over cash bail is far from over, and this decision could have lasting consequences not just for Washington, D.C., but for cities across the entire nation. If you found this report informative, don't forget to subscribe to InsightPulse, your trusted source for breaking U.S. news and analysis. Stay tuned for more updates on politics, policy, and national issues that matter most.